Summer is just around the corner, like 2 months around the corner. It's the first week of April and there are only 8 more weeks until the first week of June. I don't know how 2025 is going by so fast. Like the fact that March is already over is crazy, honestly. But that means that we have 2 months to lock in before summer. So in this video, I wrote out some healthy habits that we're gonna form before summer comes. But first, before we get into the habits, I wanna share some tips because forming new habits is not easy. So here's like a little advice before we get started. Tip number 1 is don't try to start all these habits at once. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can pick up 8 to 10 habits and just start them the next day and then that's just a part of their routine. Okay, that's just not how change works. That's not how forming new habits works. So what you're gonna do at the end of this video is you're gonna write out the 8 habits that I share and you're gonna try and do 1 habit per week. All right, because there's only 8 more weeks until June, I did 8 habits, so it's 1 habit per week. And the best way to do this is after you're writing out all the habits, pick the easiest one first. We as people, we are not accustomed to change, okay? And people are actually pretty resistant to change. Even if that change is good, we're still gonna try and resist it. So pick whatever habit you think is gonna be the easiest for you to form and work your way down from easiest down to hardest. Tip number 3 is make a plan. Whenever we're trying to change, you need to follow your plan, not your mood. And so you can't just have like a bunch of habits that you want to start. You need to make a plan for how you're going to actually form those habits, okay? We need to write out actionable steps here. So for example, one of the habits is to get movement in each day. And so for that week, you're going to go in and write out what time of day you're going to get your movement in. That way you have an actual plan to follow and a plan to make these habits into a lifestyle, because that's the ultimate goal here, okay? Is we're trying to turn these habits into lifestyle. But now on to the 8 healthy habits to form for summer. Habit number 1, girl, you need to have a sleeping routine. All right, this whole like going to bed at 3 a.m. some nights, going to bed at like 10 p.m. other nights, it's just not gonna work. You need to have a sleeping routine that's within an hour a night and then within an hour of when you're gonna wake up. So for me, I try to be in bed between 8 and 9 and then I try and get up between like 5:30, 6:30, which yours does not have to be that early. Just do whatever sleeping routine you think is gonna work best for you. All right, because keeping a consistent sleeping routine is gonna help your body regulate, it's gonna give you more energy and in turn will make you more productive during the day. Because the more energy you have, the easier it is to get things done. Habit number 2 is we're gonna get in daily movement. And when I say daily, I mean every single day, even on your lazy days, okay? If there's a day that you wanna have where you just wanna lay on the couch all day and watch movies, that's totally fine, but you still need to get up and get some sort of movement in throughout the day. Our bodies are meant to move, not to relax all day. So if you're gonna have a day to watch movies all day, you need to make sure that you're prioritizing at least doing something like going on a walk, doing like a 20-minute yoga session or something. This is gonna help keep your moods up, release those happy hormones, and keep your muscles healthy and your joints healthy. And getting in daily movement, it can literally be anything. You could go to the gym, you could go take a yoga class, you could go for a walk, you could go play pickleball, you could go ice skating, you could go ride a bike, like literally whatever. As long as you're like getting out and getting in some form of movement, just strive for it to be like a minimum of 20 minutes. My cat Mochi decided to join me. Mochi, say hi, say, you got this. All right, habit number 3 is you're gonna start incorporating veggies or fruit into every single meal. I'm not trying to say that like you need to start eating healthier or you need to like change your diet. You can keep your diet the exact same, whatever it is, but just adding a veggie or fruit to whatever you're eating. I've been reading this book, How Not to Die, recently, and while I do want to do a whole separate video on it in the future once I finish it, just trust me when I say that you need to start eating more fruits and veggies. Like eat a vegetable today. Any vegetable, okay? Because you need to be giving yourself the proper vitamins and minerals that your body needs, but just put 1 veggie and 1 fruit into your meal, and that is a great improvement already. And eating more veggies and fruit, it doesn't have to be boring. This kind of leads me into habit number 4, which is to try and start making more of your food at home. All right, and take it from me, somebody who is literally the declared worst cook in my family, to where now I would say I'm arguably one of the best. No offense to my family if you're watching this, but guys, I used to not know how to cook at all, so I completely understand if you're somebody who's like,
well, I don't know how to cook, so how do you want me to cook at home?
all right, listen, I get it. I know that if you don't know how to cook, starting to learn how to cook at home, it's very overwhelming at first, but it's important to remember that cooking is a learned skill. So if you don't know how to cook at all, you can learn how. And thanks to things like Pinterest and YouTube and Google and AI, it is so easy to find recipes and simple meals to start with. One of my biggest issues when I first started trying to cook is I just didn't know what to make. Like I wanted to be healthier, but I didn't know really what healthy meals to cook. And so my advice would be, rather than like trying to immediately start making like super complicated meals, just start by making whatever you want to order out. Start by making that at home. So like if you're craving pizza, look up how to make pizza at home. All right, but practice making whatever you want to eat at home. This gives you more control of what's actually going into your food. And then in turn, you can learn how to start taking better care of yourself through your diet. And again, I just want to emphasize, you do not have to start by making the healthiest things ever. If you want to eat like pizza and burger and wings every night, that's totally fine. Just start with that. Just start making it at home and start eating a veggie with your meal. And that's a great place to start. All right, because any little progress is better than no progress at all. Habit number 5 is to start journaling every day. And I won't lie, as somebody who does not really like journaling, I tried doing the whole journal thing every day. And I did it for about a month before I just kind of stopped because I thought journaling meant that you had to like sit down and write out your thoughts, like write a whole page down. Like I don't want to do that. Maybe some days, but overall, I'm not trying to sit there and journal for like 30 minutes every single day. But now I do journal every day. I just don't do the whole like free writing. Instead, I started journaling in this guy, just like the basic 5-minute journal. I'm sure you've seen this journal somewhere. But honestly, this thing is so nice because every morning it just has you write out 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things you want to do that day, and then a daily affirmation. And then you can go back at nighttime and kind of reflect on your day. But this setup is great. All right, and you don't have to go buy this journal to do it. Just start by like writing on paper or even just like writing it in your phone, and start off by listing 3 things you're grateful for that day and then 2 things you want to accomplish. This is nice because you're going to start your day with gratitude and start with a positive mindset, and then writing 2 things you want to do that day is going to make your day and what you want to do that day a little bit more clear. All right, your mornings set up your day. So we're going to start our mornings with gratitude and a plan. Habit number 6, and arguably probably the hardest habit for most people, is to reduce your screen time. Okay, because I saw this thing that said that the average screen time was around 8 hours and 39 minutes a day. Like people are spending more time on their phone than they would in a full day of work. It like blew my mind. Okay, and that was just the average time, meaning that there was less, but there's also people who spend more hours on their phone. All right, I want to make a more in-depth video on how I cut my screen time, but for now in this video, I'm just going to give some quick general tips. First is to become more aware of how much time you actually spend on your phone. And then once you have the time, figure out where you're spending your time on your phone. Okay, because I would argue that not all screen time is bad. Like if you're to look at my screen time, I would spend maybe like 2 to 3 hours a day on YouTube, you know, and then like a little bit more, a little bit less, like here and there, which might look bad initially, but what I use YouTube for isn't just to like scroll mindlessly. I use it to watch and listen to inspiring videos when I'm at the gym. I am not a podcast person, okay, so I go to YouTube instead. It'll put my YouTube screen time at 1.5 hours, 2 hours, but I'm not just like sitting on my couch watching YouTube for 2 hours. I'm watching it while I'm like walking on the treadmill at the gym, or while I'm doing a workout, or while I'm like grocery shopping or going on a walk. Like, so I wouldn't say that like all screen time is bad, but it's important to become aware of like what you use your phone for. Like when you go to social media, are you using it as a distraction, as a way to like kind of numb yourself a little bit, or do you use it more to get inspired and get motivation? Do you use it for like education? Kind of like evaluate yourself, what you use it for, why you go to grab your phone when you do, and then just set a personal goal for yourself. Like I want to reduce my screen time by 1 hour every day, and so in order to do this, I'm gonna not go on my phone until 9 a.m. or I'm not gonna use my phone for the first like hour or 2 hours that I'm awake. I also want to say something that has greatly helped me cut my screen time and really break my phone addiction is the app Opal. This is not sponsored, but like genuinely this app has helped me so much and I love it, and it's obviously helped me reduce my screen time, but it also in turn helped me use my phone for more productive things. All right, so now we go into habit number 7, which is to find a workout style that you like, or if you already have one, experiment with more. If you go to the gym and you strength train a lot, maybe try out different forms of cardio. If you really like Pilates classes, maybe try going to the gym and try strength training there. If you do a sport, maybe you can try practicing more yoga. Just kind of experiment with new things, try new workouts, move your body in different ways. But moving your body in different ways and changing up your workouts, I think keeps it fresh, and I think it makes it a little bit easier to stay more consistent with your fitness plan when you're not constantly just doing the same thing every day. Habit number 8 is to practice mindful shopping. I know with summer coming up, it's so easy to want to go like rush out and buy a bunch of new things. I have definitely been feeling that. It feels like every year I need a whole new wardrobe. But for this year, I'm kind of continuing a habit I tried to form last year, where when I'm shopping, I try to be more mindful of what I'm buying. You know, like asking myself, like, does it fit my style? Is the quality even worth it? Is this something that I'm gonna want to wear next year, or is it just trendy? How many times do I think I'm gonna wear this? And make it so over time you can buy things that you truly like and that they become staples in your wardrobe. Okay, because over time, this is gonna save you money. You're gonna have an actual style. You're gonna find clothes that you feel good in, because when you buy clothes for quality, you're finding things that fit you better, that have a good material so they lay nicely on your body, and overall it'll just give you more confidence. All right, but that's all the habits I have for you guys today. Like I said in the beginning of the video, write out all the habits, do easiest to hardest, focus on one habit per week. Okay, and then by the time summer comes, we're gonna be stronger, healthier, and more confident. But that's all I got for you guys. Stay happy, healthy, and wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.